At a lonely gas station tucked deep in the pine valleys of northern Oregon, the Hollow Creek Police Department was about to learn that lesson in the most devastating way possible. When they spotted a middle-aged man in a wheelchair with two service dogs, they thought they had found an easy target, someone to bully for sport. They could not have been more wrong. Those service dogs were not just well-trained pets. They were hardened military assets forged in the crucible of battlefields. Most people could not even imagine. Their handler, Jonathan Rhee, was not just another disabled veteran. He was a former Special Operations K-9 handler who had rewritten the playbook on urban warfare deployments for elite units. But this is not just about an encounter gone wrong for a group of rogue cops. It is about how one moment at a gas station unraveled a hidden web of corruption that had been festering in the valleys of Oregon for years, exposing secrets that clawed their way up through the quiet townships and into the heart of the state government. The sun was still low, casting long blue shadows across the cracked asphalt as Jonathan maneuvered his van down the winding road toward Bellstone, a town so forgotten most maps did not bother marking it anymore. In the back, Leo and Raven lay coiled with the patience of seasoned warriors. To anyone passing by, they looked like nothing more than obedient service animals. Jonathan knew better. They had faced threats, human and otherwise, that would have broken lesser beings. The fuel gauge flashed a grim warning, forcing him to pull into Rickett's General Stop, a crooked little station that looked abandoned, if not for the dim buzz of a neon open sign. Jonathan slid from his van, his wheelchair hitting the ground with a practiced ease. The early light glinted off the matte surface of his prosthetic leg, a silent testimony to a mission in Kandahar that had cost him everything and made him into something else. Behind a smudged counter, Gordon Rickett, the station's owner and an ex-state trooper, watched the newcomer approach. There was something about the way Jonathan moved, not fast, not slow, but precise. Something about the dogs, too, how they did not just obey. They anticipated, Gordon muttered to himself. Military for sure. Jonathan offered a curt nod as he grabbed a few supplies, tossing a small bag of jerky to Leo and Raven without breaking stride, heading toward the counter. Long drive ahead? Gordon asked, casual but attentive. Jonathan smiled thinly. Passing through, he said. Outside tires crunched against gravel, 4 black and white cruisers pulling into the lot. Their lights off, but their menace obvious. Leo and Raven's ears flicked once. No barking, no growling, just a readiness. Gordon stiffened slightly behind the counter, recognizing the cars. Hollow Creek PD. Jonathan showed no reaction. Years of experience had taught him the value of stillness. The first officer out was a broad-shouldered man with a shaved head and a thick neck whose badge read Sergeant Kane. He grinned when he saw Jonathan wheeling toward the van. "Looky here, boys," he called out. "We got ourselves a hero." Jonathan ignored him, steady hands guiding his chair smoothly across the uneven ground. The officers fanned out in a loose, semicircle textbook. Intimidation move, predictable and sloppy. "Dangerous being out here alone," Kane said, mock concern dripping from every word. "I'll manage," Jonathan replied. Leo and Raven stayed silent inside, but Jonathan knew every fiber of their muscles was waiting for his command. Officer Briggs snickered, eyeing the dogs. Fancy pets. Bet they played dead, real well. Jonathan's thumb brushed against a hidden pad on his chair. A silent pulse ran through the tactical collars on Leo and Raven. They remained statues, but their bodies coiled. Ready. "They're service dogs," Jonathan said evenly. "Very well trained." Kane chuckled a low, mean sound. "Sure, buddy, but out here, training's just a word." The officers inched closer. Gordon watched from inside his hands, sliding discreetly toward something under the counter. "You hear that?" Briggs called out. "Looks like we got ourselves a tough guy." Another officer, a wiry man named Dillard, moved toward the van, his hand reaching for the door. "Better not," Jonathan said. voice sharp. Dillard paused, one hand frozen on the door handle. A low rumble vibrated through the air, Leo's warning. It was not just a growl, it was a promise. Dillard snatched his hand back, swearing, "What the hell kind of dogs are these? The kind you don't want to find out about," Jonathan answered. Remember, the officers shifted uneasily. Gordon saw it too. He knew the look. Men sizing up a situation and realizing they were way out of their depth. Kane tilted his head, studying Jonathan a bit more carefully. "Now you military, once upon a time," Jonathan said quietly. "K9 unit." Kane whistled low and slow. "I remember hearing about dogs like that. Ones that cleared whole compounds by themselves.